I stopped explaining myself to people, and everything changed. Most people do the opposite. Someone questions their decision, they explain. Someone doubts them, they defend. Someone misunderstands, they clarify. Over and over again, burning energy trying to make people understand them. And here's what that actually communicates. I need your approval to feel okay about my choices. People feel that, and whether they realize it or not, they lose respect for you because of it. There's a psychological principle behind why over-explaining destroys your social value. And once you understand it, you'll never look at your conversations the same way again. But first, what actually happened when I stopped? I used to over-explain everything. Late to something, full paragraph apology with 3 reasons. Made a decision someone disagreed with, 20 minutes defending it. Changed my mind about plans, emotional dissertation about why, and I thought I was being honest, transparent, a good communicator. What I was actually doing was handing people a remote control to my emotions and saying, here, you decide if I'm allowed to feel okay about this. The shift happened when I started responding differently. Instead of explaining, I just didn't. I can't make it. Full stop. No reason attached. I decided not to. No justification offered. That's not something I'm going to do. No debate opened. And the reaction from people around me was immediate and completely unexpected. Here's what's happening under the surface. When you over-explain, you're signaling low status. Psychologically, people who feel entitled to their decisions don't feel the need to defend them. They make a choice and stand in it. That confidence, that stillness, reads as high value to everyone around them. There's also something called justification-seeking behavior. When you provide an explanation unprompted, you're actually inviting people to evaluate whether your reason is good enough. You open a courtroom and put yourself on trial voluntarily. But when you don't explain, there's no trial. There's nothing to argue against. Just a decision standing on its own. Robert Greene calls this controlling the frame. The person who controls the frame of an interaction holds the power in it. Every time you explain yourself without being asked, you hand the frame to whoever is listening. What happened to my social life? The people who genuinely respected me stayed. Actually, they got closer. Because boundaries without explanation communicate self-respect, and people are drawn to that without knowing why. The people who only stayed because they could influence me through guilt and pressure got uncomfortable. Some of them left, and that told me everything I needed to know about why they were there in the first place. My relationships got quieter, but they got real. I stopped attracting people who needed me to justify my existence to them, and I started attracting people who were comfortable with someone who knew their own mind. That is not a coincidence. That is psychology working exactly as it should. Here's the actual principle to take from this. You are allowed to make decisions without a press conference. You are allowed to say no without a lawyer's brief attached to it. You are allowed to change your mind, set a boundary, or choose differently and offer nothing beyond the choice itself. This isn't coldness. This isn't arrogance. It's the quiet signal that says, I trust my own judgment, and I don't need you to validate it for me. That signal, more than anything you could say or explain, is what makes people take you seriously. And here's the part most people miss entirely. Silence. Strategic, intentional silence is one of the most powerful social tools in existence. Not because it's manipulative, but because it forces the other person to sit with the weight of the interaction instead of you carrying it for them. Start small. Next time someone questions a decision you've made, pause. Feel the urge to explain, rise up, and just don't feed it. A simple, it's just what works for me, closes the conversation without aggression and without submission. I've thought about it, and this is where I landed. Offers nothing to push against. And sometimes just restating your position calmly without new arguments is enough. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Same sentence, no additions. Watch how the energy in your interactions shifts when you stop giving people something to argue with. The moment you stop explaining yourself to people who were never really asking in good faith, you get your power back. Not power over anyone, power over yourself, which is the only kind that actually matters. And that changes everything. If this hit different, drop a 111 inches the comments. And the next video goes even deeper into the psychology of social power and why most people give theirs away without realizing it. It's right there.